Have you ever stopped to think that someone at this very moment might have waited their whole life for you? It's not an exaggeration. It's not an illusion. Maybe you never noticed, but there is someone who dreamed of your smile, who longed to feel your presence even before meeting you. This person believed in love and believed so much that they waited patiently for you. Now tell me, how can it be that you still doubt love? I know. The pains you carry, the disappointments that made you believe love is a broken promise, all of this made you hesitate, distrust. It's natural, after all. Who hasn't been hurt by truly giving themselves? But the truth is, someone has already seen beyond those scars. Someone who over the years carried the certainty that somewhere you were out there, living your battles, but that one day you would find your way to them. You have never been alone, even in the most difficult moments, even when everything seemed to be against you. There was and still is someone waiting, with a heart full of love and a soul filled with patience. And this someone wonders, with an inexplicable sweetness, how can you doubt that love exists? I know that fear speaks loudly. I know that doubt settles in every time you think about opening up again, trusting again, giving yourself again. But love, this love that is already waiting for you, does not demand perfection, nor does it expect you to have all the answers. It simply wants to be, to exist in the silences, in the looks, in the words you might be afraid to say. Have you ever thought that love is here now, in front of you, just waiting for you to allow it to bloom? Maybe your first reaction is to push this idea away. Maybe you think you're not ready yet, that your scars are too deep, that there are parts of you that cannot be loved. But who made you believe that? Who told you that love is conditional on an idealized version of who you should be? Love does not look at you and see your flaws as something to be fixed. It simply embraces you exactly as you are. And that's why that person, yes, the one who waited so long for you, is not asking you to be perfect. They don't expect you to be ready. They just want you to be present. And more than that, they want you to allow yourself to believe that love is real, that it can be calm, that it can be safe, because this someone who carries your name in their heart has already seen beyond your fears. They have already perceived the value that you may not have yet discovered in yourself. And somehow this person always knew. Even when life was filled with doubts and the path became dark, this person felt that you were out there. There was a silent faith, a trust that at some point you would meet. It was not a fleeting thought or a momentary whim. It was a certainty, a kind of intuition that deepened over time while they waited for you. Now think about this for a moment. Someone who, without knowing when or how, always kept a space for you, even without knowing your face, your way, your stories. What kind of love is this that transcends time, circumstances, uncertainties? A love that is not based on superficialities, but on a connection that goes beyond what the eyes can see. It's as if this person knew that when you arrived, everything would make sense. And now you are here in this person's life, perhaps without realizing how important you have always been. But I understand. It's hard to believe, especially when your heart still carries memories of moments that didn't work out. When so many times you tried and it seemed that love always slipped through your hands, it's hard to trust again when the last time left you so vulnerable, so exposed. But love has not disappeared. It has not abandoned you. It was preparing you, even when it seemed far away, for this moment. So, I ask again, how can it be that you still doubt love? Because this love has already waited for you. And the wait was not in vain. This person, whoever they are, always believed that you would be able to create something together. Not something perfect, but something real. A relationship where both can be who they are, with all their imperfections, with all their dreams, with all their fears. This person does not want you to transform into someone else, nor to be strong all the time. They just want you to allow love to exist, to bloom, to manifest, even amidst your fragilities. You have been through so much. I know it's hard to believe this, that it's hard to look ahead and not see the shadows of the past following you. But just because you were hurt before does not mean that love will hurt you again now. This love, the love that has waited for you for so long, is not in a hurry, does not have impossible demands. It just asks that you take a step forward, even if it's a timid step, even if it's with caution. The person who waited their whole life for you does not see your scars as flaws. In fact, They probably see these scars as part of what makes you unique, as marks of a path that brought you here to them. And in a way, these marks may be what will unite you more deeply, because this person also has their own scars. They also had their battles, also faced their pains. And yet they believed that one day you would meet, that you could heal these wounds together, not through perfection, but through the simple fact of being willing to love despite everything. But now the choice is yours. You can continue living with doubt, continue questioning whether love really exists, whether you deserve to be truly loved, or you can decide here and now that it is worth believing, that it is worth giving a chance to this feeling that is already so close to you, just waiting for you to embrace it. And this decision does not need to be grand. It does not need to be made with dramatic words or exaggerated gestures. It can be a simple yes, a silent yes that you say to yourself as you make room for love to enter your life. Because deep down, you know that love has always been by your side. It was in the people who cared for you, in the small kindnesses of life, in the connections that somehow brought you here. And now love is again before you, not as a distant promise or an unattainable dream, but as a present, tangible reality. And this time, love wants to show you that it can be light, that it can be a safe haven, that it can be the answer to all the times you questioned whether it was really possible to find someone who understood you, who accepted you, who truly loved you. Someone waited their whole life for you, and that someone is here. He or she does not want perfection, does not expect you to have all the answers, just wants you to believe. Believe that despite everything, love is possible, that despite your doubts, love is worth it. Now tell me, are you ready to let love in? Are you ready to believe that yes, you deserve it? Because love has already found you. It is here. Love never gave up on you. This is something you might have difficulty accepting now. Maybe because for so long you have become accustomed to thinking otherwise. You looked inside yourself and saw only the moments when you felt rejected, when life showed you its coldest side. But what you need to understand is that, despite everything that happened, love did not go away. It just found a way to wait, to remain, until you were ready to see it truly. And now here it is, back, with an intensity you may not have experienced before. Because this love did not come to teach you a hard lesson, nor to make you relive past traumas. This love came to heal, came to show you that, even with all your reservations, even with your doubts, you can still trust, you can still believe. The person who waited their whole life for you knew that the journey to love would be complicated. They knew there would be obstacles, and that sometimes things would seem impossible, but even so they did not give up. Because somehow, this person saw what many could not. They saw your essence. They felt that behind all your walls, behind all the layers you built to protect yourself, there was someone worth waiting for. They believed that in your time, you would open your eyes and realize that love was not an abstract idea, was not something to be idealized or feared. That love could be lived in an authentic, real way, without pressures, without unrealistic expectations. And now you are facing this love. The big question that remains is, what will you do with it? Will you walk away, afraid that it is too late? Will you keep convincing yourself that maybe love is not for you? Or will you give a chance, even if small, even if uncertain, to discover what can happen? Because, truth be told, the love that waited for you does not ask for guarantees. It does not demand that you be sure of everything. It just wants you to be willing to try to believe, to try to trust, to try to feel, and I know this is not easy. No one is asking you to ignore what you have lived, or to pretend that fear does not exist. But what you need to understand is that love is not the absence of fear. It is exactly the opposite. Love is what happens when, despite fear, you decide to open up. When, despite your scars, you choose not to close your heart. And this choice is powerful, because it is what transforms everything. The person who waited for you, they knew this moment would come. They knew that sooner or later you would be ready to see that all the disappointments, all the frustrations were preparing you for a different love, a love that does not demand perfection. This someone knows that you carry marks, that the path to here was not easy, and for this very reason this love is so unique, because it does not seek perfection. It seeks truth. It seeks someone who is willing to be real, to be authentic, to be vulnerable. The person who waited their whole life for you has already fallen in love with your imperfections, because they understood that it is they that make you who you are. They do not want you to hide your pains, to disguise your weaknesses. On the contrary, they want you to share them. Because deep down they know that together you can be stronger, that together you can support each other and build something that goes beyond any superficial expectation. And the most beautiful thing about all this is that this love does not need to be perfect to be true. It does not need to follow an idealized script. In fact, the beauty of this love lies exactly in its imperfections, in its uncertainties, in the moments when you and this person will learn, grow, and sometimes even make mistakes together. Because real love is like this. It is built day by day with patience, with understanding, with care. This person waited their whole life for you, not because you are perfect, but because they saw something in you that no one else did. They saw your heart, they felt your essence, and knew that, despite all the doubts, despite all the fears, you would be capable of loving, of feeling, of truly giving yourself. Now you can continue hesitating, can continue hiding behind your wounds, or you can take the first step towards this love that is already here, waiting for you. It doesn't have to be a big step. It can be a small step, but one that is genuine, that comes from the heart. Because sometimes that is exactly what love needs, a chance, a small opening, a crack, so that it can enter and show you what is possible. And when you allow this to happen, you will realize something incredible. The love that waited for you is also the love that you, deep down, always waited for. Even if you denied it for a while, even if you convinced yourself that love was something beyond your reach, the truth is that, somewhere, deep down, you knew. You knew that there was someone out there, that at some point in life you would find this person, and now that moment has arrived. You may not have all the answers, you may not know exactly how things will unfold, but the truth is that it does not matter. What matters is that now you have a choice to believe, to trust, to let love happen. And this choice, as simple as it may seem, can change everything. Because when you open your heart to love, when you allow yourself to feel, something inside you begins to transform. And finally, you realize the love that waited for you is not a distant dream. It is real. It is here now, just waiting for you to recognize it, for you to accept it, for you to believe that yes, you deserve it. Are you ready to let love into your life? To finally believe that yes, someone waited their whole life for you and that you deserve to be truly loved? The choice is in your hands now. Allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to believe. Life is giving you this opportunity, and the love you always wanted is already here waiting for your answer. If this message touched you in some way, if it made sense in your heart, subscribe to the channel to keep receiving more content that will inspire you to reflect on love, life, and true connections. And of course, I want to know what you think. Leave a comment below and tell me, do you believe that someone waited their whole life for you? And don't forget to leave your like if this video made you think differently about love. Let's go together on this journey.